Welcome back to Biology Classroom. We are discussing our second chapter, Reproduction in Flowering Plants. We studied about male and female gamete formation in flowering plants in the previous videos. Next, we are going to study about pollination, which is the initial step of fertilization. Pollination is a transfer of pollen grain to the stigma of a pistil. External agents like butterfly, honeybee, small insect, wind, water, etc. helps in pollination. Next, we are going to study about different kinds of pollination. Pollinations are of two types that you have studied in the previous classes. That is self-pollination and cross-pollination. So what is self-pollination is transfer of pollen grain to the stigma of the same flower or between two flowers of the same plant we term as self-pollination. Transfer of pollen grain from one flower of a plant to the stigma of another flower of another plant is termed as cross-pollination. Autogamy and geitonogamy are the two types of self-pollination method. So let us check out what is autogamy. Pollination within the same flower is called autogamy. Example, Viola, Oxalis, Commelina are the plants which perform autogamy pollination. The flowers of this type pollination will not open at all. It will be somewhat closed. So this helps the flower to perform autogamy pollination. These type of plants, that is Viola, Oxalis, etc., produces two types of flowers. They are chasmogamous flower and cleistogamous flower. So what are cleistogamous flower are? Flowers with exposed anther and stigma, that is normal flower. The flower will be having exposed anther and stigma, that is open flower, fully open flower is called chasmogamous flower. Next is cleistogamous flower. What is the peculiarity of cleistogamous flowers are? Flowers which do not open at all is called cleistogamous. In such flower, anther and stigma lies close to each other. When the anther dehiscence, pollen grains comes in contact with the stigma. So these are the peculiarity of cleistogamous flower. Here there is no chance of cross pollination. Geitonogamy. It is a transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma of another flower of the same plant. Here pollinating agents help in pollination. Genetically, this pollination is similar to autogamy because the pollen grains are of the same plant. Xenogamy. Xenogamy is a cross-pollination method that you have studied. Transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma of a different plant is called xenogamy. This type of pollination brings genetically different type of pollen grains to the stigma. Next, we are going to study about agents of pollination. There are two types of pollinating agents, abiotic agent and biotic agent. Abiotic agent means non-living things are called abiotic and living things are the biotic. So abiotic things are wind, water, etc. Biotic includes animals. Flowers which pollinate through wind and water will produce more number of pollen grains because there are chances of uncertainty and associated loss of pollen grains. Flowers which pollinate through wind will be having lightweight and non-sticky pollen grain, well exposed stamens, large feathery stigma, and they will be having single ovule and numerous flowers packed into an inflorescence like the flower of cone. Pollination by water is quite rare, mostly in 30 genera, that is mostly monocotyledons. Water is an agent for the lower group of plants like algae, bryophytes and pteridophytes. We can say that the bryophytes and pteridophytes are limited because of the need of water for the transport of male and female gametes. Water pollinating plants, Vallisneria and Hydra, grows in fresh water and Zoster grows in marine habitat. Not all aquatic plants uses water as pollinating agents, like water lily, hyacinth. The flower emerges above the water level. The pollination takes place by insects. Wind and water pollinating flowers are not colorful and does not produce nectar. Next we are going to discuss about biotic agents. Majority plants uses a range of animals as pollinating agents like bees, butterfly, flies, beetles, wasps, ants, moths, birds and bats. Dominant pollinating agent is a bee. Larger animals such as lemur, arboreal rodent or even reptiles like garden lizard have also been reported as pollinators in some species. Insect pollinating flowers will be larger, colorful, fragrant and rich in nectar. When the flowers are small, a number of flowers are clustered into a inflorescence. Animals are attracted by the color or fragrance. Nectars are the rewards to the animals for visiting the flower. When animals visit the flower for this reward, the pollen get caught on animal body, which is usually sticky. When this animal comes in contact with stigma, it brings about pollination. The flower, which is pollinated by beetles or flies, will be having foul smell. In some species like Amorphophallus, the tallest flower, the pollinating agent moth lay egg on this flower and this moth help in pollination. The larvae of the moth hatches out when the flower starts producing seeds. So both this organism does not complete the life cycle without the mutual relationship. This is all about today's class. Hope you all understood. Thank you. Have a nice day.